Hello, Austin ISD teachers. Let's talk about Flipgrid. Perhaps you are looking for ways to send video messages to your students and for your students to send video messages back to you. Flipgrid has been around for a while and it is a very helpful tool. I'm just going to walk us through it. There's several videos on the website for how to do it, but I thought I would also walk us through as well. So when you go to flipgrid.com, you will just sign in as an educator. You need either a Google or Microsoft web email address. Well, all Austin ISD employees have a Google address. That's our Austin ISD address. So we're going to make sure we choose that Austin ISD address. And mine just jumps right to it because my computer remembers me. But you will need to create an account if you don't have one already by just using your Austin ISD account and then creating a password for yourself. And now my computer knows, and you can see that I already have several grids already created that I have been using in the past. But I created this new one. So you'll get here and you won't have any grids yet, or maybe it'll just have one pop up. And it'll probably just say something like hello on Flipgrid, and that just kind of gets us started. So a grid is kind of like a class. So you create a grid for your class, and then you create topics within that grid for your class to respond to or have activities for. So how I did this was, well, when it first opened up, I was given options to kind of create my grid. So I gave it a name. I decided this one's going to be called Learning from Home Grid. And then I also gave it a code. So I've already, my son, his teacher, Miss Danielson, good job Miss Danielson, already sent out a Flipgrid for her class and with a video of her and her students responding. And she just put her name right here, Danielson, so flipgrid.com/your name. If you have a really common name like I do, Sanders, probably not going to work because there's probably already someone out there. So I put Learn from Home Sanders for this particular code. So when I send it out to my students, that's all they'll need is this code right here. Next, I come down and have my choice for how students will access this. So if your students are older, they could use their email address. If your students are younger, they could use just their student ID number, which a lot of students might know because maybe it's their the number they use for lunch, it's the number they use to check out library books, it's the number they use to log on to the student portal. So possibly your students are pretty good with this number. So you can upload from a file all your student names and their ID numbers, or you them all in and add students as well. Okay, so you can add all your students, and so when they log on using your Flipgrid address, they will be asked to enter their ID, okay, without the S. So make sure your students, you tell them that they don't need the S, they just need the numbers. And you also don't have to put last names, you could just put an initial if you would like. I just kept mine as public so we can all access it easily, so I don't have to have a log on for mine. Okay, then we get into filters and notifications. So if you as the teacher want to know every time a student has sent in a video, then you can click here, or if you just want to know daily that who has sent in videos, you can choose, right, whichever notification you would like to receive. You can also look at these other notifications to see, well, do my students need email notifications? Can they download and share? We want this grid to be active. If I hide it, then no one can access it. And do I want to provide captions for students and in a different language? All right, and then the fun personalization. You could put a photo or a picture, maybe of your class, or you can just choose one of these fun photos, and they have several down here. You can just choose a fun photo to feature for that grid, and then update my grid, and that's where I got this, right? So I'm ready to go. So here again is my code for students to access, and then I also, this is a nice little feature, I could add a co-pilot, which is if I have a co-teacher or I want to share a grid with multiple classes, like a grade level grid, we could just have co-pilots, and a bunch of teachers could all use one grid, okay? So this was already created for me, my little hello. That Flipgrid did that automatically. And I can view this here. If I just introduce, it just is an introduction. Say hello on Flipgrid. How do we get started? So it'll just give me like, hey kids, say hello, create a video. The way to do that is we just get to right there, click that button, and that starts our recording. Well, that sets up the, well, we'll take a look. Again, gotta log on before I record. Yep, that's me. Uh-oh. Well, now it's not gonna remember me. There we go. Sometimes you have to do it twice. And there I am. Hey! And I can start my recording right there, and I can add stickers to my recording as we go. I can add titles and type in titles as I go. All sorts of fun stuff. These features can be turned off if this gets distracting for students. But they would just hit record, and you would just hit record there to get started. I've already done one here, so you can see my video for how I got started. All right, so that's kind of our first step, getting a video up and running and going, right? And if I want to kind of go back to my grids, and click my name there. Oops. Also, sometimes it opens multiple tabs up above, so I can always click back through. Flipgrid is kind of one of those websites that opens multiple tabs, so always check back up at the top to see if maybe there's another tab that's open. And then I could add more topics. Once I get a hello topic going and students get to say hello and show responses, then I could add other topics. But let's, oh, I'm sorry, I want to continue with this, editing this topic. So when I click the little pencil, then I can take a look again and see if I can edit the title. I can change the recording time, which is how long the students have to record their videos. If they only have a short response, middle, or very long responses. So you can decide how long the students will have to respond. It'll time them out depending on what I chose for recording time. Okay? I can put a prompt here. I can put a cute little picture or icon here. A little helper tip information. I could upload attachments. This is important, the status, topic status. So if you don't want your students to upload videos without you first approving those videos, then I would check this right here. I would turn that on to say that my students all videos would be moderated through you, the teacher, before they are posted for any other students to view. And if you're safe with your students uploading videos without anyone else, that's fine. But since we're new digital learners, a lot of your students, this might be a good thing to monitor, to go ahead and turn that on so that students aren't posting without you first reviewing their video to make sure it is appropriate. Student-to-student replies is defaulted on, but you could turn it off if you don't want students to reply to one another just yet, because maybe you haven't had a chance to really go over the protocol and what would be appropriate. The stickers and other fun features, you could kind of turn these off to maybe only happen during the selfie time or the video time, or they can't do stickers or writing at all if that was just a little too much and too distracting. If the student is allowed to edit their video or not. They could put titles, how many people have viewed their video, other things like that. So all of those things could be on. You could turn those on or off, whatever is most appropriate for your class. And then if you want to provide feedback to your students on their videos, then you could just go with the basic feedback or customize. And then I'm just going to update my topic, and then it's ready to go. Right? Active or non-active, again, that hides it from students. And then share. And then there's a direct website link if I want to share it with that exact topic to be shared. Another way I also go back sometimes is I click the little breadcrumbs here to show that I can get back to that main grid. I developed another topic for my class about reading, and just says, what are you reading? And then to have them share a book with me, and they can respond by clicking again. There'll be the green plus for them to start sharing their responses to that. And I could start off the topic by sharing a video with my students of what I'm reading, and then they can add to that, right? Also, if you're just not sure what to put on here, there is a disco library, and it has tons of topics and ideas for you to start off with. So I was clicking around on the Learn from Home topics, and I wanted to maybe do a math video or a math video as well. And so I liked this one. This is a great strategy we could do for students. It could be multiple ages, could do this kind of activity. And so I said, okay, I like this activity. I'm going to add it to my grid. So I'm going to add it to the Learn from Home, and I add that. And then I could rename it if I need to. I could change the recording time. I could add additional prompts. There's already the photo there. I could add any other information. Again, I could moderate all those things we just talked about, how we want to customize exactly, and then update the topic, right? And now it's here. And then again, if I want to go back to the grid, then there it is, right? Oh, but now it's kind of in an odd order. I want my students to say hello first before they jump into their math lesson. I'm just going to click and grab, and then I can change the order that those topics are in. So that's not a problem. Okay, so anytime I want to change things around, I can just go to that edit, right? I want to hide anything, I can hide or freeze. If I want to see what are the students going to see when they get to this, I can click that. They see this, see the prompt, and then again there's their response. They just click on that to start recording their response. And then their responses won't show up immediately if I'm moderating it until I approve those videos, or if I don't moderate it, it would show up for the students to check out. Okay, to get back, remember it opens just multiple tabs, so you might have to go to the top again to see as it opened a new tab, new window. Okay, well, I think that's pretty much all I have to show you guys for Flipgrid right now. I hope you give it a try and give it a shot. I think it's a pretty fun way for students to be able to interact with videos and with each other and build a little online community. It's safe. It's built for students and for teachers. It's free for us to use. So go out there and make some videos and share your videos with each other and with me. Love to see them. And thanks for watching.